The true secret as to why the narcissist hates you is because they hate having to wear a mask. You see, the mask comes with penalties. You see, like being inauthentic. You see, their emotions do not align with yours. Their worldview is different. Like they are punishers. They think being nice and kind is a weakness. Okay, and then when you display normal human emotions, that's very inconvenient for them. It even causes the surfacing of emotions that they're always hiding. And so you see, the consequence of them masking is that they need so much validation to feel secure. They cannot keep up the act, but they resent needing to be somebody that they aren't. Now, they don't really know who they are. They wished that they could be everything you wanted. The truth of the matter is that they may authentically, in the beginning, want to be the person that they're attempting to become for you, because that feels really good to them, but they can't. And you see, once they start to resent you because they've been triggered and you're in the devaluation, the need to mask around you feels like a trap. It's disgusting to them. They hate and resent you because the mask was born out of resentment. The mask was born to protect them. They had to avoid their emotions being detected by abusers. And so they had to mask as a matter of security and safety. They're actually afraid of you. And so that is why they're grandiose victims, is because they retain the emotions of an abused child that compels them to hide themselves. And so they never really develop beyond the emulation of the expectations of others to hide in plain sight. And this is also something that makes them resentful, that they hate being fake. They hate not having any concrete goals. They're empty because this neurological necessity that is created by fear, that they're always in fight or flight, that's why they're always bored. You see, they have this energy and they have a severe disconnection from their own cerebral cortex, like a psychopath. And so their lack of empathy is simply brought on by the fight or flight that has them so hypervigilant, so sensitive. Like they're so sensitive to sounds, they're so sensitive to everything that they're in a tunnel vision. And they're always in an emergency, a crisis, that this is an existential emergency that feels like a child fighting for safety and security. They cheat out of necessity. Now, while they do things that you would consider irrational or sick or depraved, you see, their emotions are different. You know, narc on narc is a much better relationship for them because if they cheat on each other, they don't get heartbroken. They get ego broken. They just like, well, screw you, then I'm going to cheat too. And so like when you catch them cheating, you notice how narcissists are always like, well, you know, big deal. You know, I needed to meet my needs, you know, or like they do something egregious to you. See, narcissists split. And since their emotions change so rapidly, they don't get stuck the same way you do, you know? And so you see, they can't actually relate to your experience the same way that you think they do. And so the moral boundaries that empathy creates for you does not happen for them. They truly don't care, you know, because it doesn't mean anything to them. You see, they're emotionally colorblind. See, many of the emotions that you experience, the narcissist emulates. Emulates. What I mean by emulates is many of their external behaviors resemble behaviors associated with emotions, like disappointment. When they're acting disappointed, it's a cause and effect thing. When you wake up to a narcissist and they're fighting for control, they're going to dysregulate. And what's going to happen in that dysregulation is they get very confused. They get scared of you because they don't have any way of reestablishing control. And so their behaviors are going to be very effusively praising, and they're going to look for a response. Okay, that didn't work. Angry. Okay, run away. Okay, that didn't work. Play the victim, get upset. And so a lot of these behaviors are born out of fear, but do not have any authentic emotional backdrop. They're emulations. You see, the narcissistic injury was implanted at such an early age that they learn to coexist with more intact children through cause and effect. It's like somebody being colorblind and all the other children are looking at a rainbow. They can't see the rainbow, but they know that when people say rainbow, they're supposed to smile. And so imagine a child with no taste buds that's trying to act like they enjoy chocolate cake. because they're observing other kids. Okay, when you eat chocolate cake, you smile. And so you see, narcissists are absolutely absent many different emotions. And so the external behaviors that you're reacting to are all manipulations that are just cause and effect necessities of their mask. And so they learned how to coexist by observing children, and they may not even be aware of this vast discrepancy. You see, they behave out of survival necessity, and they will project that you're doing the same thing because they don't have the ability to relate to your experience because of how neurologically impaired they are. A narcissist is in a condition that is a prerequisite for paranoid schizophrenia. They have so much fight or flight sympathetic nervous system activity that any more stimulation and they can start hallucinating, okay? And so they are that far down the bunny hole. And that's why they do these crazy things that you and I wouldn't understand. Why giving someone a perfect life, they'd be cheating. And somehow cheating is related to communication, and they'll throw their whole life away and end up homeless just pursuing validation because the fight or flight is like a life or death experiential necessity for them to do certain things. But you're very similar because you'll throw your whole life away by avoiding being abandoned by a narcissist, which is just as insane. So before we just go demonizing them, you have to start to consider that you have some emotional dynamics too that are a little